For lesson 17, we're going to still be working with systems of equations. The only difference is that instead of just giving you a system and asking you to solve it, you are going to be given a word problem and you have to create your two equations and then solve for your variables. So our first example says that Mr. Smith spent $30 for 9.5 pounds of ground beef and chicken for a family cookout. So we have two different situations. We have the cost, the amount of money, and then we have the weight. So let's focus on the weight first. There's 9.5 pounds altogether of ground beef and chicken. So I know that the amount of beef plus the amount of chicken is going to be 9.5 or 9.5. Then move on and let's focus about the cost. It says if the price of the ground beef was $3.50 a pound and the chicken was $3 per pound, how many of each did he buy? So the ground beef was $3.50, so I'm going to have 3.5 times however much ground beef I bought, plus $3 per pound on the chicken, so 3C, and he spent a total of $30. So now we have to solve this system and we get to decide because it doesn't tell us how to. So we have graphing, we have substitution, we have elimination. Since this one is written with the variables lined up, I'm going to go straight to elimination because I think that would be easier. And we have 3.5b and we have 3c. So I think it would be easier to cancel out the c's. So if the bottom is a positive 3, I want the top to be a negative 3. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by negative 3. So I'm going to have negative 3b plus or minus 3c, and 9.5 times negative 3 is going to give me negative 28.5. I'm going to leave the bottom equation the same, and then I'm going to add going down. So I'm going to have 0.5b left, and negative 28.5 and 30 make 1.5, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 0.5. So b equals 1.5 divided by 0.5 is 3. So there's 3 pounds of beef. And then we're going to plug that back into one of the originals. So I definitely think that the top equation is the easiest to plug that back into. So we're going to have 3 plus c equals 9.5. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. And I'm going to get c equals 6.5. So there's 6.5 pounds of chicken bought. For our next question, we have Bill and Brandon, and they're downhill mountain biking. Bill starts at 500 feet ahead of Brandon and bikes at a rate of 42 feet per second. Brandon bikes at a rate of 50 feet per second. How long will it take Brandon to catch up to Bill? So for this equation, or for this system, we have two different people. We have Bill and we have Brandon. So we're going to have an equation for each person. So Bill's equation, he says he starts at 500 feet ahead of Brandon and he's going at a rate of 42 feet per second. So he's adding on 42, and we'll call it x, however many seconds. And then Brandon is our other person, and it says he's biking at a rate of 50 feet per second. So he didn't get a head start, he's just got 50 feet per second. How long will it take Brandon to catch up to Bill? So in other words, when are these two equal? So we're going to set them equal to each other. Plus there. So this one, we're just going to solve for x here. So I'm going to subtract 42x on both sides. $50 minus 42 would be 8x, and then I have to divide by 8. And x would be equal to 62.5. So it says, how long will it take Brandon to catch up to Bill? That would be 62.5 1.5 seconds. And our last one says that a line passes through the points 2, 1, and 1, negative 1. Line B passes through the points negative 3, negative 2, and negative 1, 0. Do lines A and B intersect? So the first thing that we need to do is find the slope of each line. So remember, the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we're going to find the slope for the first 2 points that were given for line A. So we're going to have negative 1 minus 1 and 1 minus 2. So that would simplify to negative 2 over negative 1, which is 2. And then the slope of the other line, we're going to have 0 minus a negative 2 and a negative 1 minus negative 3. So that really turns into adding in the middle 2 negatives there. So top would be 2 and the bottom would be 2, and that is equal to 1. So the slopes are different. So that means one line is steeper than the other line. So are they going to intersect? Yes, they are, because their slopes are different.